Today we're going to talk about, is it worth getting tutoring for BMAT and UCAT? And I would say it depends. And I'm going to give you some reasons why you should get a tutor and some reasons why I feel like you shouldn't get a tutor. So let's go through them. So the first reason I think you should get a tutor is because it holds you accountable. If you pay for a service, you're more likely to go through with it, you're more likely to stay on task, and you're more likely to be accountable for the practice that you do. So the tutor is there to guide you in many ways to make sure that you are doing the right things at the right time and you are given that guidance and you're held accountable for yourself. Now, you can hold yourself accountable by yourself or by a friend instead, and that's possible, but some people may choose to have a tutor for that reason, and it can be quite useful. The second reason you might want to have a tutor is because a tutor gives you that guidance from A to Z. Rather than having to figure out from all the free resources, where do I start, where do I end, the tutor gives you a pathway and a framework to work through all the stuff that is actually available all online for free, but it gives you that framework, and that's the important thing that actually a lot of the free resources cannot provide. Number 3, tutors help you understand things that unfortunately you can't ask in a free resource. So when it comes to free resources, there might be minutiae that you don't fully understand, and tutor needs to go through it and make you understand it a little bit better, or they might have to explain it in a slightly different way for you to understand it. So it might be the same thing, but it has to be explained to you specifically very differently, so it clicks in your head and it's very individual to you. Now, why should you not get a tutor? You should not get a tutor if honestly you're already doing well when you're doing your practice tests. If you're finding that in the practice test you already score it when you go on Medify or the other one, MedEntry, so they're the 2 question banks which I recommend for UCAT, or if you're practicing your BMAT past papers and you're scoring fairly well, I do not honestly think that you definitely need tutoring. Many students I see that are more than capable of getting 7s and 8s come to tutoring, and I'm just like, you don't really need any more tutoring. Like, you will be fine, trust me. And it does frustrate me because I understand that honestly that money is just incorrectly spent, in my opinion. Number 2 is you do not need tutoring if you already have a framework that has been set out to you and you've got something that works for you and you know how to already prepare for it. If you've got a preparation that you've found online that's going to take you from A to Z already, then go for it. So, and it's not that there isn't any sort of framework, but you can create your own framework looking at all the free resources, and if you built your own framework, follow that through, then that's fine. You don't need a tutor then. And finally, you may not want a tutor because that it does cost a lot of money, and to get a tutor and you might not have that financial capacity to do so. And because there are so many free resources out there now, more than ever, I wouldn't recommend getting a tutor. What I would recommend is buying, for example, what you can buy instead of tutoring is you can buy courses online, which are a lot cheaper. They might be 15, 20, 50 pounds, but you pay that one off and you get a whole course that pretty much teaches you from A to Z as to how to do the questions. So final thoughts are, if you need tutoring, I would say make sure you don't get too many hours, because in general I don't think most people need a lot of hours in tutoring. All the reason that the tutoring is there for is actually just to give you that guidance so you're on the right path, and they'll go through questions and they'll enable you to understand and answer the questions a lot better. However, if you feel like you need tutoring, then it is something that's available for you, but a lot of free resources are now available, and I want you to make sure you best utilize those first before approaching tutors where you can. And if you are trying to approach tutors, I would say the best way is to approach tutors directly. A lot of companies, for example, from Medic Portal, Medic Mind, etc., they have a lot of resources which are great, and I don't disagree, but they can be quite expensive. Sometimes you just need a tutor in and of itself. They might be only 15, 20 pounds an hour, which is a lot cheaper than some of the other companies which are charging 30 to 40 pounds an hour, which is a lot more expensive. So go to tutors directly by messaging them straight on Instagram or from YouTube, for example, on like my channel or things like that. That way, you're gonna get a lot better rate than if you go to companies like big companies that are out there for UCAT and BMAT, etc., which are gonna charge you a lot more.